Alrighty then. We are back at it in episode 16. Is that really it? Is that right? Maybe God. No, 17. I think I forgot to update the title. Let's go ahead and update the title real quick. That's crazy, man. We've been going at it on this live stream journey. So what we're going to be doing today is we're actually going to break away from the norm a little bit, where we are going to dive into the YouTube API and try and get some of the functionality that we want out of it. And a lot of times when you're dealing with third-party APIs, it's just diving into the documentation and seeing how things work. So that's what we're going to be doing. I've used it before on my website, and we'll take a look at that real quick. Before we dive into that, what I want to do is just do a little shout out to my course, the 100 front-end interview questions challenge. It's the new hotness. Udemy is saying that everyone's doing it. Everyone's checking it out. It's doing pretty good. It's got a 4.7 rating. You can get it for $9.99. Top 100 front-end interview questions you're going to be asked, as well as some tips and tricks to get up and going. There's links in the description below. Check it out. Watching from Cameroon, huh? That's pretty cool. So as I mentioned, I've used it before, but one of the pretty much my only portfolio site before I got anything was my you can see here my YouTube channel. This is all dynamically coming from the API, which I bet, let me go ahead and dock this in here. If we go to our network call, I can see what it is. All right, cool. So I was just looking at some stuff real quick in here. Oh, I didn't want to put it there. I want to put it to the right. There we go. That feels more natural. Let's go ahead and dive into the YouTube API. Documentation. We did do a little bit of refactoring. I met up with Ricky a little bit, and we started styling our let's go ahead and show that actually. I'm trying to keep you guys as up to date. I do put a little bit of time in on this project outside of the live stream, but very little. But if I do, I want to make sure I keep you up to date. So, search for content. Let's see. All right, so when creating a site like this, we have to understand our quotas. Otherwise, we'll get in trouble down the road. Now, we're going to have service workers, so a lot of this is going to be cached. Let's see, let's go back. So we're in the right section. We want a search list here. All right, one more time. Let's look at this. Let's try and understand this quota limit. Projects that enable YouTube data API have a default quota allocation of 10,000 units per day. Amount sufficient for the overwhelming majority of API users. That sounds pretty good until we ramp up. 10,000. Shit, if we had 10,000 people visiting our site a day, I'd be pretty happy. Now, they call 100 units, so it's more like 100 people visiting. Quota impact. So 100, we might beat 100. Oh no, is that right? 10 would be 1,000. Yeah. Oh, this might not be a good idea. Let's just get it up and running, and then we can worry about. So basically, what we'd have to do here is it'd be a simple. Let's actually just Google this. Get playlist. YouTube. Get YouTube playlist. Playlist API. I think we're in the right section. Returns collection of playlist. Close. Okay, so this is only one. This is a better one than what we were looking for. So try this API. Will tell us part. So the HTTP request. So we're gonna need this. So domain required. Reason required. What's going on, Mila? So I think this is our part. Code 400 required parameter part. All right. So part, the part, one or more playlist resources the API must include. All right. So let's go to youtube.com/coding tutorials 360. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and get it an ID of an API. So the ID of playlist. See if that will do it. So let's say we just did this. I don't know. One series I really like and I'm proud of is Code Like a Pro. So I'll take that. It looks like this is the ID here. So we'll say that's the part. All right, so now no filter selected, expected one, channel ID, my rated ID param one. All right, so the parameter is child property. So let's see here. Channel ID. ID. All right, let's see if this does it. Oh, it doesn't look right. So if I go to youtube.com/coding tutorials 360. Let's see here. Hmm. Let's see here. Yeah. Playing around with APIs always sucks, man. Let me see something real quick. I think this is V2 of the API though that I did on this side because I haven't touched this in like 5 years. Oh, maybe not. So let's see here. So here are the items. Part snippet, playlist ID. So maybe if we go back to here and we go to your channel and then we go to like a pro, copy. And let's swap out the playlist ID for this. Shit, that did it. Well, I'll be. When in doubt, just go back to where you did it the first time. I thought it was outdated. But sweet. All right, so what we need to do is figure out now how to make this larger than 5. I want all of them. So how do we increase? There's a max results. So you can see right here, results per page is 5. And then there is a max results. I wonder if we can just do and max results equal 50. And now when we close that, we should have 11. Bam! We did it. Code and God, baby. Code and God from 2012. Cool. So that was it. We got it up and running. Now we gotta do a little bit of coding and whatnot, but we're there. We gotta make it dynamic. Hey, my hero, how are we? Doing good, man. How you doing? Alright, cool. Let's run our test as always. Throw some music on. All right. So let's see where we got to yesterday. So if you remember correctly, what we were doing here yesterday was we were building this playlist component, and you can see I did it here, but right now what we're doing is we're going to actually connect to a service that's going to get this data for us. Now, we're going to set it up based off my current YouTube channel, but eventually we're going to change that. It's going to be its own channel. You good? All right, bro. It was cool. I accidentally double booked. I'm working with these two platforms, Thinkster and then also LinkedIn Learning. And I accidentally double booked. But I had a meeting with LinkedIn Learning today. Pretty excited by that. It's going to be a ways off, but it sounds like we're going to work together. So you're going to see some of my content on Linda and LinkedIn Learning and all that jazz, which is cool, man, because, like, I'm a big fan of LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn has done a great job with their platform. And I'm glad to see it continue to grow. All right. Cool. God, I remember back when I just learned APIs trying to get that YouTube API to work, and I probably spent a whole weekend just to get those 3 routes there. You know. All right, cool. Before we do anything, let's go ahead and commit what I have here so we know what files we touch. Because what up? It's kind of funny too, because like I was talking with the guy and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do Angular. Damn, I was really gonna ask you about Angular. I was like, well, I kind of want to do Angular. Like I'm my concern with Angular is that it gets updated so frequently. I try to do courses that aren't going to get updated as frequently. All right. Yeah, man. All right, so we have our components. We have our views here. We have our category. And then within our category, we're going to have a service. I'm actually going to put this in a shared folder because I'm going to use the YouTube service for something else, I've decided. And we're actually going to call it video service. Even though I probably won't ever change platforms, it makes sense to call it video versus YouTube, because if I do change it, I have to go in here, rename it a little bit more generic. Might be too generic, to be honest with you, because this whole platform is video, so the idea of calling it a video service really concerns me. Yeah, let's call it YouTube service. Oh god, that somewhat pains me to call it YouTube service. Have I checked out the new ES 2019 features? Nah, man, what they got coming out? Anything good? I'm gonna call it YouTube service. Have I ever tried Linux? I have not. No. To be honest with you, I don't really care to. I don't like I don't like Macs, and I had one job where I showed up and they were like, "Oh, you got to use a Mac." And I was like, "Fine," and I did it. I used it for about 3 months. I hated it every minute. So never again. All right. So we're gonna need a constructor here. We're going to use public HTTP, and that's going to extend the HTTP client. Wrong client. From Angular Common. Cool. All right. Yeah, man, it's right now we're just gonna put any. This will actually be something much more complex. So let's go ahead and create a new file here. Yeah, I just don't have the God, I'm so fucking tired this week. I think all these live streams are catching up with me, where I'm slowly starting to shut down. You ever have that happen where you're like, dude, I just want to keep on going, but like you can feel like you need a break, like mentally or physically, you're reaching your limit. I don't know. I don't know if maybe I'm not getting enough sleep. I go to bed pretty consistently. I just want to code though, man. That's the thing. I'm just having so much fun. But like, my body, I'm getting old, man. That's the truth about it. I need to start exercising. I think I'm joining a gym pretty soon. But all right. Let's start here. We'll go ahead and define our a youtube.service.ts, and all we want this to do is export a abstract class called a YouTube service, and in here, YouTube service, we'll have a get playlist by ID. Yeah. Did I tell you guys what April's doing, man? This will be pretty dope. She's prepping to go to Lambda school. Which is pretty cool, man. So yep. Yep. I've been trying to teach her for a while, but I mean, the truth of the matter is, I don't have the time. I don't have the energy, and there's that dynamic where I'm her boyfriend of like 10 years. Like, you should see her up here. Where I'll be explaining something on the whiteboard, and she'll just look at me like, I don't give a shit what you have to say, Dylan. Like, I get paid good money to do this. I'm literally a professional in my field, and I built course, all this sort of stuff. Like, I'm pretty good person to have in your corner to teach you these things. But because of our relationship, it's a completely different thing, right? And so it's been a struggle for that. So I think I think being able to have a somebody else in your corner would be a good idea. And so yeah, so you have to do some pre-work. So a couple things with that, as far as I understand, Annie, here, how you have to do some prep work. So and then you also have to there's like a skills assessment after the prep work. So she's got approved. She's doing the income sharing agreement. Try to make me feel guilty for not paying for it too, by the way. Just saying. Yeah, no. But yeah, so there's a skills test, and you have to do the prep work, all that sort of stuff. But according to this, she should be in sometime September, which is pretty about a month away. Okay. So God, look at all these files I have to create for this service. Yeah, they get up to $30,000 as for the in total. It's something like 17% of your income for the first 2 years over $50,000. As long, I should say, for when you make $50,000. I don't think they take it off the top. It's gross, so gross in the sense of not like it's a gross business model. I think the business model is fine. It's gross in terms of your salary. So if you make 100 grand, taxes are going to take about 25,000, 30,000, and then on that 100 grand, they're going to take 15 grand. So that's going to be 40 grand off the top, and then the rest will be her money and whatnot. So should probably make like 50, 60 grand her first job. That's typically what I think most people are going to make. All right. Stand up for a little bit if I'm gonna code. I'm struggling today, man. What kind of position is April going for? She's probably gonna do the same stuff I'm doing. It's software engineering, so it's gonna be full stack JavaScript, presumably. All right. Cool. So we wrote some tests. Let's go to our video playlist component because that's where we're going to use it. We'll close everything else. So components. Nope. What am I doing here? Views. Category. Not resources. All right. Before we do that, let's go to our shared component. We actually have to add our service. God, I always forget which way this goes. All right, we've added that to our module. Dope. Now what we want to have here is the public YouTube. Well, we need a couple things here actually. We need public router of type router, and we need public YouTube service of type YouTube server. All right. So we need to subscribe router events. Angular. So in our on init, and this is probably blowing up now, right? An argument for router was not provided. Yeah, it was. Oh, maybe in the test. We need to. Sup, Dylan? Coding every day, 3 hours, working to get that job. Good on you, man. We just had a couple people drop by here earlier talking about how they did that exact plan and went from truck driver to software engineer and dishwasher software engineer. So you just gotta keep with it, man. So 1 second. All right. Oh, it's activated route. Yeah. That's the thing, man. It's like, I'm here, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. But you gotta keep going, man. You gotta push through the pain. Push through this pain. Got me a promotion. I've reached semi-god level. Yo, Kevin, hook a brother up with a promotion, man. I think the next role for me will probably be front-end tech lead. Maybe team lead. That's probably the next direction I'll be going. Alright, cool. So now that we've done this, let's, we're putting that somewhere already, aren't we? Kevin, I swear you come in here just to flex on me about whenever you get... Oh, I didn't add HTTP client, did I? Kevin shows up just to flex. Like, yo, I'm still slaying the game, dog. Where you at? You know one thing I like to do? When I get a little neurotic. Looks good though, right? Sweet, there's our IDs, and if this changes to whatever, it's going to change to whatever. Very nice. Alright, so we got our route params, and there's a couple things that we're going to need to do. That's good, Kevin. I could use a nice pay bump, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for a nice pay bump. Always. Right now I'm trying to create it outside of work. But it'd be nice to get a pay bump at my workplace. The thing is, I'm so impatient. I'm like, yo, it's been 3 months. Where's a raise? Which even I know, like, April has to calm me down sometimes because, like, I know it's unreasonable, but, like, I get hyped. I just want to do so well, do so good, so much, and grind so hard. I get over jealous. All right, so what are we gonna do? Let's go to our models. We have our data. We have our metadata. Let's go ahead and create a new file here, and we'll call this playlist IDs .data.ts. Here we'll export const playlist underscore IDs. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it's JavaScript. And then in here, I was gonna say, in here, we're gonna paste in the playlist ID. Cool. All right. So let's start here. Hey, big boy. Let's see if that worked. That should work just fine. Cool. Big boy. Get up here. You get up there. Come on. Up. Where are you going? Get up. Gator. Up. Oh, yes, my big boy. Oh. All right, cool. So we got the ID. That's fine. We'll have to make this more verbose. Cool. So now that we have our playlist ID, let's jump into. Let me see the dog. You want to see it? Come here, Gator. I'll show you, Gator. It's my boy. My boy, Gator. Come here, big boy. Get up. Get up so everyone can see your pretty butt. Oh, he's a good boy. That's my puppy. He's 70 plus pounds now. Not even a year old. Huh. Big boy. Oh, big boy. Put that tongue back in. He's a purebred Australian Shepherd. There you go. All right. So the doggo hip. That's a big dog. Yeah. He's a Australian Shepherd, standard, so he's gonna be pretty big. I don't think he'll get too much bigger, maybe 5 to 10 pounds, but he grew faster than they were expecting he would. So what the hell do I know? So I think he's gonna get a little bit bigger. Not much, but a little bit. All right, so we got our ID. What we need to do now is, if you remember our A YouTube service, finally able to catch your stream. Well, good thing for you, Mr. Muhammad. Let's like this dot get playlist. Update playlist. Have a good one, Alex. Honestly, what this should actually be, because it's going to get a little bit more complicated, that params, which is of type params. Gut params. All right, cool. So we got our playlist ID. Now what we need is response equals this dot all right. So hey, big boy. I bribe him with food when I have it, and water bottles up here to chew on when I have them. He's eyeing this one right here. He destroys all our water bottles. Likes chewing on them. All right, so cool. Let's go to our YouTube service. And first we need to create the route. Let's go ahead and create a private base. Set this equal to and this will be that. These days, developers are pretty bold. A week ago, coworker gave resignation without a job. For a week later, she already got a job. I'm pretty happy where I'm at. I just want to make more money. That's all. Doesn't matter. I don't think there's too many companies in the area around here that would actually pay me. Pay me what I would need to get paid. Pay me any more. Let's be a little bit more specific. What's going on, Kevin? We were just talking about you, man. Kevin, so Alex, who's still in here, is learning to code, and he was the individual who went from a dishwasher to a software engineer, man. How's it going, Kevin? It kind of... Alright, so... I know Junior with 2 years experience who's requesting $100,000 raise or a raise up to $100,000. So this doesn't need, because we have playlists here, we can put by ID. That's fine. I messed up here. I was overthinking it. All right, jump back to YouTube service. A raise? I mean, you can only pretty much get 100K raises if you're in California or New York, but he might pull it off. Building a small express app for a client. Good on you, man. Alright, so if we set this all up right, what we should do is just get back that response on page load. What's between 0 and 50? Okay, that was the one thing I changed. Got it. I don't know what this E tag is. Alright, so what we want to do is in our models here, we'll define a new one called a playlist. Let me go ahead and just throw this over here so I can see the model. Nice and clean. Yep. Nice. Actually, playlist is. Now, what may end up happening is we may end up creating a base YouTube class, but I don't know how I'm going to use it yet, so we'll come back to that, I think. We're going to have items, which should be an any array for now. We'll come back and define a type for that in a second. And then we will have I was just debating about, so the YouTube response comes back as an object with items, and we're definitely going to treat it as an object, even if we just put items. But then they have page info, which results per page 50, total results 11. Which makes me think that, like, I don't think we're going to have more than 50 things in a playlist. I don't think, anyhow. I don't know. Yeah, so we'll treat it as an object this way. Let's make it easier to modify later. Alright, so now what we have to do is we have to define a playlist item. Model.ts export class playlist item. So you know you're getting tired when you start making silly mistakes like capitalization. Alright, so playlist item will have a public read-only ID, which will be a string. It will, after that, have a snippet. Which will be an any. If you want to make more money, start playing Fortnite. Yeah, man. That's it. What is that, 16-year-old kid? I watched the last like 5 minutes of that kid winning. Apparently, he looked a little bit like, yeah, baby, I knew I'm the greatest. Like, I just got that feeling. There's nothing humble about the look on his face or anything like that. I'm just fine, do you? But, hey, man, I'm not trying to hate. I'm just saying that was something I happened to notice. All right, so in here, read only. Yeah, 3 million, dude. Channel title, string, description, string, playlist ID we should already have. Sell drugs. Hey, big boy, you back for more? There's no more bottles. Grab another water bottle for me, though. Alright, and then I don't know that we're going to do anything with the description quite yet. The only thing about selling drugs is you go to jail. It's morally questionable. I don't think we need channel title. Descriptions, maybe. If there is one thing that I could do, I'd probably go and try it. Like if I was like 14 again and I wanted to take a gamble and not just like do what I'm doing now, because I've started much earlier, I think I would dive into try to be a professional gamer. Yeah. I think that would be what I would do. I don't think I want. You know what? I don't think we need this. I'm gonna map within the model. I think this is fine. So we have our, instead of snippet, what we're gonna have here is we'll go ahead and make this description. I'm just looking at this. I was like, God, I only need like 5 fields. I don't think I need to break this down too much more. We can have our models map it. Then we're gonna need the title. That'll be a string. ID here. We can just do that as so we have description, we have playlist idea, we have a title. Okay. And then we have a video ID. This will also be read only. This will be a string as well. And thumbnails. This is interesting. So they have various thumbnails for various sizes, and like I'm looking at it and I'm just wondering which one I should take, because you don't want to take too big. So let's see here. So like this is the default, which is going to be small, but that's about the size I need. Or let's see, that's a little bit better. I don't like that it has this black mark around it though. Medium might be the one. I think medium. And then they have standard. That's fine. I think this is fine. Searches all off. So this is coming from my own stuff. I'm only going to be connecting to my own playlist. Yeah. I think we're going to use medium. So. All right, so in our constructor, we're going to take in some data. Now, this is going to be slightly different because we're hacking this together. So let's start from the top when we go to our playlist model. So we should probably store the ID, right? And in here, this will be playlist item. Playlist item. And this will be of type. Cool. All right. All right, so we're now in each one of these items. Let's get the very first easy win, which is the ID. Is that different than the video ID? What's the difference between the ID and the video ID? All right, so let's go experiment a little bit with YouTube real quick. So if we go to YouTube, and then I click on this, right, this Dave's Ramsey. If I paste this ID in here, well, still video unavailable. Now if I paste this ID in here, all right. don't know what the difference is. I don't know what that other ID is for. I'll have to go look at the docs later. All right, so I don't really care about this. Right, and then finally we have this dot thumbnail URL equals defaults dot thumbnail URL dot thumbnails. Hey Gator, what's going on, buddy? No one's paying any attention downstairs. Dot URL. All right. Whew, I think we mapped our models correctly finally. Okay. Let's go to our service. All right. Return response. Return new playlist. Pass in our response. Excellent. All right, cool. So with that, we have an array. We have items, which is part of our playlist. We have playlists, and nothing came through, huh? We jacked that all up. All right. All right, so let's just follow the trail. So we go to items. Oh, that might be it. It's like, damn, I really thought that was going to work. All right, so it blew up right here, That's okay. So, items, first one, snippet, resource ID. Let's try there. Snip. Snippet, SNIPPET. Dot resource ID. I see. This is actually I'll solve one of them. And all right. There's our resource ID. All right, so thumbnail URL. we did the same thing, I bet. Cool. We got the 4 pieces of data that we need to do that. So now that we've done that, let's jump back into our code here. We fixed our snippet. And what we're going to do is change the music real quick. And then we are going to, I think it's time for a commit. All right. Okay, so we did that, committed. How much time we got? We got about 45 minutes. Let's write some tests. Fix that. All right. Cool. I don't want to. I'll write some tests later. Do I want to write tests right now? I got a mock out HTTP client. Or do I? All right, let's just do some tests. I don't want to do the tests. I'll do the tests later. I've done so many tests in the stream that you should have an idea. I've done 114 of them by now. I'll just write some after. Let's just get the data connected. So all right, cool. Shit, you know what that API didn't bring was the length of the video. That kind of throws off my design a little bit, but maybe I'll do a short description. I can come up with something. All right. So now we've done that. Jump back to our video playlist component. Let's create a public playlist of type playlist. All right. first thing first. Let's do this. Play. We'll leave it up there. Cause I haven't set a way to get the number one video here. So start here. So ng4. Let playlist item of playlist. That should give us a whole mess of things now. Oh, I'm not setting here. Oh, it's playlist.items, isn't it? There we go. And now, let's go ahead and change this to play. Let's actually just change this to item. Item dot title, right? Cool. It's a little long, right? We'll fix that down the road. That's not what our titles are actually going to be. We're just getting the content out. And then for our image, and I think for our alt tag, we can probably just do item dot title, and then here we'll do item dot thumb. The hell did I call that? Was it thumbnail URL? Thumbnail URL, yeah. Bam. All right. So now that we've done that, all we have to do is figure out what we're going to do with this. Let me go back and look at the response, see if there's anything in there. We do. Yeah, there's not really too much to put in there. We could put a description. I think as is right now, we don't need to do anything with it. Alright. Let's just comment this out for now. We can always come back to it. Excellent. And then when we click on this, we're going to want, depending on what route we're on, this link is going to be dynamic. And you're going to go elsewhere. Alright. So this number here will be playlist.items.length. And what we want to do, all right, now that we've done that, we have to assign an active class on things for when it's selected. Before we do that, I gotta use the bathroom real quick, so I'll be right back. There you go. This little boy's room. ladies and gents. I'm back. All right. All right. So let's talk about the active class. So we got our 11 there. That's cool. What frustrates you most about junior developers? You know, I don't. This is kind of crazy, but I don't know if I've ever actually worked with a true junior developer. I take it back. I have. There's one colleague from a previous workplace I won't mention because we're all good friends that I hated working with at times because like I put a lot of time and effort, probably too much into just all this stuff. And he did not. And he didn't want to. He's okay coasting by and skating by. And so those types of junior developers drive me nuts. Class.active where item is equal to selected video. And that would be it. But I mean, I personally, I prefer to work with junior developers who are interested in learning. If you're interested in learning, then there is quite a bit that I can do to help you get there. All right, let's go and define the active class real quick. So I was supposed to teach at this, I shouldn't say supposed to, I interviewed to teach at this boot camp, and they won't tell me why they didn't accept me. Even though in terms of technical ability, they confirmed that it wasn't that. I have teaching experience online and mentoring other students, and they won't give me an answer. And I was just like, I don't get it. And April hits me with what probably the sad truth is that I don't have a degree, so I think that was it. They're not interested. All right, so I should do that. You're probably right, baby. You are probably right. I was excited because I was completely overqualified for it, and I was perfect for the role, but they didn't want me. Oddly enough. All right, so let's just set this dot, create a public, selected video. Cool. Now let's go back to here. Was that why you went to Western government? I mean, that's why I was thinking it. That's why I did go. But once I was there, I realized it was a mistake. Cool. That looks pretty good. These titles are clearly too long for what it is that we're trying to do. This will update based on our route, and this will go based off the route. We still have to define what those routes are, but we're almost there. So we connected the API. We added what an active class is going to look like. I think what we have to do next is simply build a subcategory page and maybe position. Yeah. I wouldn't recommend people go to WGU. Not after what I saw. It's outdated. Alright, you know what I think we should do right now? So there's like, I need to build a whole nother page, but we really should just get this page together. Like, we're almost there. Yeah, let me put it right here for like 300 pixels or something. Put it right to the side. All right, so let's do that. Let's start by taking the share icon. Leave that there. All right, cool. We need to wrap this in a try catch. Our models are fine. All right, so we have our video container, and our video container, we have a video playlist. And now what we need to do is we need our app sidebar. So we have our breadcrumbs, then we have our header, and then we need our app sidebar always on the side. So let's think about this for a second. So let's create a container here. We'll call this hashtag category dash container. And I think it's okay for the breadcrumbs to be in there. So this will be a div. All right, so grid dash template columns will be 1FR, and then the other one will be 300 pixels. And then we'll say grid dash template areas. We'll have a breadcrumbs go all the way across. And then we'll have header. Then we'll have video sidebar. Then we'll have examples sidebar. And then we'll have books sidebar. Then we'll have courses sidebar. I think that's about right. We'll give a grid dash gap of 10 pixels on everything. All right, so now what we have to do is let's go to our breadcrumbs. So we have app dash breadcrumbs. App dash bread dash crumbs. Grid area. Breadcrumbs. All right, and then we have our header, which this will be a grid area header. All right, then we have our app sidebar. And honestly, we have so much HTML and CSS in here. Like, it's a manageable amount at this point, but it's a full page. I think once you get past like 100 lines of CSS or around there, 100 or 50 to 100 lines of HTML, it's time to start thinking like, even here, even though these are all their own components for the most part, like maybe we need to make this its own component, a container for this. Same. So it's mainly the app cards taken up in the topics here, so what's a breadcrumb? It's like, you ever see it's a part of your navigation. So like, here's an example, like the route that you took to get to where you're at. They're called breadcrumbs. I think I got rid of this. And this. I think that's gone. got rid of that. Alright, I got sidebar. Out card. Looks. Dash area. Books. I never considered someone had set those up. Yeah. It looks really good actually. I'll show you. I should take we only have the one page, but the 3-tiered breadcrumbs, which is as deep as we're gonna go. There might be a fourth one. It looks solid. I think we did a good job on that. All right, let's see if we set this up right. Not quite, huh? Alright, so our breadcrumbs is good. Header and video. Oh, did we not get video? Video dash container. Yeah, I might have to. I think I need to put it on this. I don't think this is going to work because it's on an element, but I could be mistaken. I might have to. Yeah. This will probably do it real quick if I just. Now that I'm doing this, I'm definitely gonna rewrite this. Come on, man. Oh, man. All right. I'm gonna get this working. Something's wrong with our grid setup. I got 15 minutes to debug this before. Oh, snaps. I know what I did. There it is. Forgot the old Gritterino. God, that's frustrating, isn't it? Why is... Why does it have that little lip there? Oh, it's got some margin. Okay. So I wrapped it in a div, I bet. Let's see if this works now. That's alright, we can do it this way for now. AD video. Oh, I forgot the display grid. Which makes me wonder if I have to... Alright, so that does work. Alright. Cool, there's that. Alright, cool. Now that we've done that, let's do the next one, which should be example sidebar. That's going to be this. Alright, so that's going to be app-vertical tabs grid area examples. That should be fine. Cool, that's working. And now topics we're good on. Then we have these two. Let's see if that does it. Bam, bam. There it is. There's our layout. It's looking good. Go to the top. This will be longer because we'll have an ad here. We'll have some Facebook group here. Ad here. But we got our layout looking solid. Got our tab going on there. It ain't too shabby, son. It ain't too shabby. We're getting there, piece by piece, man. I think that's a good spot to stop at. So, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching as we go and continue on this journey together, which we've been live streaming. Oh my goodness, man. This is episode 16, 17? Who really knows, man? We're coding until the sun went down today. All right, on a Tuesday. Going up on a Tuesday. Is that what those kids say? I don't know what the kids are doing nowadays. But yeah, man, we're getting there piece by piece. Moving forward, what we're going to do is we're going to inject a video based off what's here, have it touch the path. We still have to go define those routes. And then we're going to add some ads to here and here, but I have to launch the site, build a support page, add some content here to show exactly what we're going to do. But you can kind of see what we're going for, which is exciting. So up next, add a video, shorten this up. Really quite a bit of legwork still to go, but it's coming together. So if you're interested in my courses, check them out in the link below. You can get them for just $9.99. Use coupon code CODINGGOD. And the links are there. The 100 algorithm challenge, the 100 front-end interview questions, lots of good stuff. But as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.